Lady Daydal, MMA Connect TV standing backstage at the National Stadium in Dublin after a fantastic night here at the Senior Elites with a victorious career-wise Christina McMahon. How are you?
Oh, good. What a night.
Yeah.
Great night.
Brilliant to see you here and finally get you on the show.
Well, thank you very much, and you're very supportive, and especially to the women's boxing. And we appreciate that.
Oh, well, that's good to hear. So obviously you're here tonight to support, or did you know someone like very well?
Well, I'm here to support them all. Obviously, it's great to see the women's boxing on the same night and getting the same prestige as the men. But Regan Buckley, my sparring partner, of course, we're rooting for Regan. And the new club I'm with now, Stephen O'Rourke's, Tony Brown. So a little bit of an extra bonus to have these buddies winning.
Absolutely. I mean, for a lot of our viewers, I know for myself personally, like growing up and you know, female boxers were few and far between, but you were always a name that I always, you know, heard of on the news or whatever it was, you know. And now we obviously had Katie Taylor, we've Kelly Harrington here tonight, you know, like it seems like women's boxing is always going from strength to strength.
It is. I suppose I was around when it wasn't cool. But it's really cool now, and I suppose I'm sitting back and enjoying that, and I think it's going to get bigger and bigger, and you know, all the critics, there'll always be critics, but I think they're going to have to take a back seat because I think it's growing whether they like it or not.
Absolutely. And it's exciting. I mean, the skill and the talent levels that are out there now. Do you see a dramatic kind of increase in the skill level?
Oh, absolutely. And the more that the platform is there for them, the more skilled they're going to become, because there's something to train for now and something to fight for. So that's going to help it as well. And coaches are taking this serious, you know, because there's now a platform for women.
Absolutely. Do you find that the younger generation are you know, that they look up to you, or do they come to you for advice? I mean, you've been there, you've done that.
Yeah, I do and I don't. There's going to be always you know, a certain amount of people that look up to somebody, or you know, just I suppose appreciate what you've done. Then there's people who dismiss what you've done because they think they're the next best thing since sliced bread, you know. And it's just very interesting to see. But you can find that we all are inspired by somebody. To say you're not inspired by somebody is a real closed mind situation. And I think no matter who you are, if you can't appreciate who's done it before you and appreciate who is doing it, well then you're in a very bad area, because you're not going to make it.
Absolutely. What do you think, when you look back on your career and still where you are now, what's the one or the most important piece of advice that you could give back to someone?
Well, you have to love what you do, and if you focus on contentment and doing your very, very best, I think the winning will come natural. I find that if you're in a situation that you're not fully happy with, everything has to be right. Your boxes have to be ticked. Every box has to be ticked. And many times I've gone home and I said, oh gosh, I didn't watch my food and I got the weight wrong and I was in the wrong weight section. Or when I get that right, I didn't get on the road and I didn't get my sparring right, and I didn't spar people who were better than me. You know, you have to leave pride behind you and go out there and get the people who are better than you and thank them for that help. And I think if you do all these, you know, different ticks, that they all have to be ticked to win gold, and there's a massive difference between gold and bronze.
Yes.
And that's the difference. The difference is the extra oomph.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and a lot of the guys that I spoke here tonight, and in particular Tony Brown that you mentioned earlier on, you know, he's been here, he hasn't gone the distance, he's lost out in the finals, and tonight then he's become a champion. And it's so interesting to see, especially, I mean, it's in all sports, but especially in boxing, because of the way that the amateur scene is set up. You can go, you can try, you can fail, but you can come back the next year and go again. What do you think is important to remember in that state?
A year is a short time. You know, on that night when you lose and you think, oh my God, what am I going to do for the year? And all your plans and your excitement's gone out the window. You know, that year is a very, very quick year. And it actually takes a full year to become an Irish champion. And any of the Irish champions that are here tonight will tell you, this isn't a 1 month, 2 month preparation. This is a year's preparation. So I'd say for anybody who lost tonight, and any final I saw tonight, there's nobody left behind. There's nobody, you know, that isn't in the game. They're all there. and the short distance tonight between that first and second, you know, the second place could come back here and kick ass, and it's all about the attitude you take home with you tonight, how you wake up tomorrow, and the way you think. And you know, a big thing my husband and coach always says, and I think is the biggest thing, is if it doesn't matter next week, or if it doesn't matter in a year's time, well then it shouldn't matter now.
Brilliant advice. Well, on that note, it was so good to meet you.
Thank
and
you very
finally
much.
And get you on the show. It's been brilliant.
Thanks for the
Christina
support.
McMahon for Connect TV. Thanks a million.